This is by far the most creatively inspiring pickup that I have ever used. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Submarine pickup, and we're going to look at the different ways in which I have been using it and some other ways in which you could use it for your acoustic guitar. Full disclosure, this is not a sponsored video. Submarine did not send this to me. I bought this myself. I think I got this for around £130 UK sterling, which is roughly about 170 US dollars. The Submarine is a two-string guitar pickup that's designed to be used with either electric or acoustic guitars. It's an all-analog passive pickup, and it has this really nice die-cast, chrome-plated and hand-polished finish. It has a toggle switch on top, which switches between a mono or a stereo output. The mono output blends the two pickups together, the stereo output splits the two pickups, and then the third toggle is a mute switch. It also has a 3.5mm mini jack output here, and then it comes with this cable adapter, so you can just plug this in, and then at the end of this is your 1/4 inch jack output, so you can plug your guitar cables into this. The build quality of the Submarine is just really nice. You can tell that it's well made, and even the box that this thing comes in is just absolutely beautiful. It's probably the nicest looking box I've ever seen for a pickup, and you can just tell that a lot of love and care has gone into this. Submarine is a company from the UK, and this was actually the first one that they created. They've made a few more since this, and I just wanted to get their original pickup first just to see what it's like, and maybe I move on to their more advanced pickups a bit later on. So you may be asking yourself, why have a pickup that only picks up 2 strings? And that's because it's designed to be used with other pickups, either other pickups or a microphone, or a mixture of all of them, and that's what I've been using it for. So the idea is that if this is only picking up 2 strings, either the lowest 2 strings or the highest 2 strings, and then you mix that with your original sound, whatever original sound you have, either just a pickup or a microphone, or a pickup and a microphone blended, and then that can be used as a creative way to enhance your sound. So the way I see this is that it's a creative tool. You know, it's designed to be something that you can blend with other sounds and other pickups and microphones, and then you can use it in a really creative way. With other guitar pickups, we don't get the opportunity to isolate strings in this way, you know. Yes, there's lots you can do with EQ. You know, if I cut out all the high frequencies in my pickup, then and just have the low frequencies, of course I can maybe get a similar sound, but it won't completely isolate even the higher strings. They will still come through. But with this way, obviously it's just picking up the 2 strings, so it completely isolates those 2 strings from the rest of the guitar. And that's just a very unique thing to be able to control and use in a creative way. So I've seen a lot of people use these with octave pedals, which work really well. Obviously, if you're using it on the lowest 2 strings on the guitar, and then you can put that through an octave pedal, and then it basically sounds like a bass player is playing along with you. Sounds really cool. Of course, there are octave pedals out there that have a polyphonic setting, like the Boss OC3 or the OC5. These polyphonic octave pedals basically hear the lowest thing that is coming through the pedal, and then they put an octave below that. So it makes it sound like there's a bass player playing along with you. I've been using the TC Electronic Nether Octaver octave pedal through this, which is a very simple, basic, all analog octave pedal. I guess with the polyphonic octave pedals, there's a little bit more processing going on, whereas this setup here with the Submarine and the basic simple analog octave pedal, I find that there's a little bit more natural harmonics going on with the bass sound, with the sub sound, to me at least, than the polyphonic pedals. What I've really enjoyed using this with is not necessarily just the octave pedal, but it's just using lots of different effects with it as well. It's really good with experimenting with different effects and coming up with your own sort of unique ways and creative ways of using this. So one of the things that I like to do with this is to use it with just a reverb pedal. I was using the Strymon Blue Sky reverb pedal, and that's a great one for getting some really ambient reverb sounds. I have always struggled when using delay with my acoustic guitar. Whenever I try to use delay just on its own, I always find that it's too much, that I get stuck with where to go with it, that it's too overpowering. But when I was using delay with the Submarine, that was actually perfect for me, because usually with the bass notes, that's where all the rhythm is anyway, you know, especially when I'm playing sort of alternate thumb picking stuff, you know, where the low notes, the bass notes drive the rhythm, you know, that's where all kind of the steady rhythm is. And then I have all the other strings to be free, to improvise over the top, to play whatever I want to play without feeling stuck or without feeling overwhelmed that they're going to be affected by the delay as well, you know. And actually, by discovering that, I'm now falling back in love with delay, and I'm discovering new ways to use it with my music and in my songs. Something I like to do is I like to play bass notes and then improvise over the top. And often I like to create sort of drones with the bass notes. Have the lower notes kind of extend further. And with the Submarine, you can do that. You can, you know, I like to sort of put it through the Blue Sky and then through a delay pedal. So especially when using the reverb and the delay, and just on those low bass strings, you can create some really nice drones, and then I can improvise on the top. And then I started experimenting more on what can sound really nice is having a volume pedal in conjunction with all of this. So then the volume pedal would allow you to control how much of the Submarine signal, so the bass notes, are coming in, you know. So especially when combining these effects and creating these drones, I can then sort of bring them in and out kind of how I want, you know. So the volume pedal I like to use is the Layla active mono volume pedal. I've done videos on this in the past before. This is a really nice active mono volume pedal. The thing I really like about this volume pedal is the fact that it has a magnet and a sensor, so it's really sensitive to what you're doing, and especially with my playing and the way I play and how subtle things are when I play. I need something that has a lot of sensitivity to that control. Another thing that this volume pedal has is it has a direct out, which becomes very useful because the direct out is unaffected by what I'm doing on the volume pedal. So I would go straight from the Submarine directly into the volume pedal first, and then I would go into the effects, right? But then the direct out is obviously unaffected by what I'm doing on the volume pedal. That would be the pure signal from the Submarine, so the lowest two strings, and that would go into an octave pedal, So the octave pedal would not be affected by what I'm doing on the volume. That would be just coming through like I would have a bass player coming, playing with me, and then I can also add these drones at the same time. So I'm adding multiple layers. It's like I'm playing with multiple different instruments, with me. It's just all coming from the one instrument. The creative possibilities that you can do with this when you combine pedals and pickups and microphones is just endless. Another really fun thing that I discovered was if I combine the volume pedal with the octave pedal and then added a fuzz pedal to the effects, with that, I was getting these like really cool synthesizer-y bass sort of sounds, which I could then be my drone and then I would like play over the top. It was so much fun. One of the things I really like about this is it has this sticky pad on the bottom, so it's designed to just kind of, you stick it on the guitar and then it goes underneath the strings, either the low strings or the high strings, whichever way you want to do it. So it's easily removable from guitar to guitar, and I like that about this. I like pickups that you can easily remove and exchange and change onto different guitars and stuff like this. I did experience a little trouble with getting it actually stuck for a long time on the guitar. So it doesn't, in my experience, it didn't last for a whole long time. And it could easily, if it gets knocked, it would easily fall. But it does come with these magnets which help a great deal. And these sort of magnets that I used are very, very small, but very, very strong magnets. And then they have a sticky side on the bottom, so you can place them inside the guitar, wherever you want to place the pickup, the Submarine, and they will just make sure that they keep in place, because these are really strong magnets. My Loudon guitar has a very thick soundboard, so I was a bit worried that the magnets weren't going to be strong enough to get through that thick soundboard. They were fine. I was still a little bit worried, especially when using this live. I didn't want this to fall off when I'm using it live. So I actually got some stronger magnets and put them underneath. And these are really strong magnets, to the point where I actually did a few live shows with this and they were completely fine. I could actually knock this a little bit and it wouldn't budge, So that gave me some reassurance that, it wasn't going to just fall off in the middle of a performance, because that's always a little bit of a worry when you're using these sort of things in a live situation. I also have a feeling that the sticky pad didn't work too well on my guitar is because it's a matte finish. I have a feeling that if it's a more lacquered finish, like on an electric guitar, then it'd probably stick a little better and a little longer. But either way, I still do recommend that you use the magnets with this when using it with acoustic guitar. Also, the cable adapter that comes with the Submarine I found can sometimes get in the way a little bit, or I found that I was knocking it and pulling it a little bit whilst I was playing. So you can tell if that happens, the Submarine's going to move and then can get dislodged. But a great solution for that is actually strapping it on the back of the guitar, and I use these little strips of Velcro for that, and it solves the problem. So if you're using this in a live situation and you find that's also happening to you, then this is something you can do really easily that will resolve that issue. I think the Submarine is for anyone that really enjoys getting creative with the guitar's tone. So if you like experimenting around with pedals and pickups like I do, then I think you're going to really enjoy the Submarine. As usual, I'll put all the links in the description down below for any of the gear that I've used in this video. And make sure you check out the Submarine website. They're sometimes offering special deals and discounts on all of their pickups. And by the way, if you didn't know, I'm also the host of a free community full of other guitarists, singer and songwriters where we discuss experiments and pickups and pedals and all kinds of things like that. There's also free mini courses on there as well. So if you're interested in joining, then just click the first link in the description down below. So let me know your thoughts on the Submarine pickup, and also let me know if you would like to see me do another video on some of their other pickups as well. Other than that, have a fantastic day, and if you want to keep hanging out, then click on this video here, and I'll see you over there. Bye.